it's a NGO offering art studies, and they're going through the Duchamp toilet exhibit from 100 years ago. He just puts a toilet in a museum, and they're explaining to people in Afghanistan why this was an important moment in modern art. Of course, this gets translated into Pashto, and then people are sort of not quite sure what they're doing there. But and then of course we had the last president who got his PhD from Columbia University, wrote a book called, quote, "Fixing Failed States," unquote. Again, this is even more of the Onion episode. And then as the Taliban was closing in on Kabul, he held urgent meetings about, quote, digitizing, unquote, the Afghan economy. But of course, in general, it was just this lie that we were building, a liberal democracy, that this was, just history was on the side of people. And if we, again, want to sort of focus on a dissenting individual voice that articulated the alternative in very clear terms, in ways that I will also quote. It would have been President Trump. It was articulated maybe at a late date. We can debate whether it could have still been course corrected. But he said that Afghanistan was fundamentally and irreducibly a, quote, shithole country, unquote. And now, I would never say this myself. I would never, there was a reason he was sort of out on a limb in saying that. Most of us wouldn't say this. It's not a very nice thing to say. It's not clear that it's a very rigorous scientific description. But certainly in a world where that question couldn't be debated, couldn't be discussed. Is he right? Is this an accurate description of the country? Is the $2 trillion just sort of throwing good money after bad? That's the kind of world in which the whole thing ends in this crazy way. The mob, the individual is right. The mob sort of silenced the argument, and then it works until at some point you get to this point of crazed total collapse.